Collectibles. From NFTs to trading cards to fine art, collectibles have been around long before any of us were. Memorabilia is so renowned for its prestige that they're both collected and preserved. These select items become noteworthy due to a combination of their historical significance as well as the memorable individuals and events they're attached to. And as one of the most enigmatic rappers of the 2000s, it's only fitting that the mass villain MF Doom would have merchandise rivaling the rarity of his artistry. This is the world of MF Doom Collectibles. I could easily fill this list up with a bunch of rare vinyls, but I wanted to stray away from rare pressings and focus a little more on cool and distinct collectibles. And KMD's Black Bastards pop-up book is an exemplary instance. Released by Metal Face Records in 2015, KMD's sophomore album received the love a physical release never got back in 1994. Obviously, it got an initial release back in 2001, but this 2015 re-release is by far a more unique and interesting version. Gastro also has recently put out a new version of this album for those of you looking to support the MF Doom estate. If KMD pop-up books aren't really your thing, then you might be interested in some collectible MF Doom masks. Released by the Gastrolls website in 2020, these masks come in 4 different styles: Sludge, Mummy, Emerald, and Sapphire. The quality of the masks themselves are questionable. They're not much better than something you'd find at Party City, but they're collectibles and not exactly meant to be worn. These work much better as a display piece rather than something to actually wear, and that shines through on the gorgeous box design. Overall, they're pretty cool. I wouldn't mind owning one, but I wouldn't pay more than $50 for one of these, yet you'll commonly see these listed for well over $100 a piece, which is just ridiculous.
Mindless fucking consumerism wins the day again.
Speaking of Gastrolls, another item off the website that is no longer available is the MF Doom Skate Deck. Unlike the previous item showcased, the Doom Skate Deck doesn't appear to be up for resale at all, meaning that getting your hands on one of these might be a little harder than you think. With that being said, while currently listed as being sold out, the item remains on the website, so it's possible that they'll come back in stock at some point.
One of the more well-known pieces of Doom memorabilia is the Madvillain statue from 2007. Released in collaboration with Kid Robot and Stone's Throw, this figure is one of the most recognizable and sought-after hip-hop related items. The figure was based off James Rotano's rendition of MF Doom's character, which of course was featured in the All Caps music video. This figure was limited to 4,000 pieces, and it came in 2 variants. The first is the original green we're most familiar with, produced in a quantity of 3,000. The second is a gray version, which was limited to only 1,000 pieces. While it's widely known that there exists a Madvillain figure, how many people realize that there's actually 2 Madvillain figures? Produced in collaboration with Rappcats, the Madvillain Avalanche figure was released in March of 2017. And I can't really blame people for confusing the two, as the 2017 version looks very similar to its decade-old predecessor while still being a worthy statue on its own. The reason these 2 iconic statues share such a striking similarity is due to the fact that the design team behind the original Kid Robot figure reprised their roles and produced this new design. Standing at 8 inches tall, this MF Doom figure features the jar or base sting which contained Madlib's character, and to my surprise it actually opens up. I'm not sure what you'd put in there, but it's a cool feature nonetheless. The figure also comes with a 7-inch vinyl of the Madvillain track Avalanche. And just like its predecessor, the box which the figure is packaged in features some really cool artwork, all designed by James Rotano.
If you're looking for an item that'll appeal to more than 3 senses, look no further than the Food chocolate scented CD. Released by Rhymesayers, this copy of Food fits the food theme of MF Doom's second solo album perfectly. This installment of the classic album comes housed in a silver foil, which, as the name states, smells like chocolate. The idea was conjured up by Sadiq from Rhymesayers, who's one of the co-founders of the independent record label. Doom would actually elaborate on this in his infamous Red Bull Academy interview. 4 years later, Nardwuar would gift Tyler the Creator this very same item.
Tyler, what does MF Doom smell like?
I don't remember. I don't think he smelled weird. He had ashy hands, but other than that, he was really nice.
I can help you with that. Check this out. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is the MF Doom Scratch and Sniff CD DVD.
Wow.
Have you seen that?
I didn't know they released this one.
Check it out. Scratch and sniff it. You can see what MF Doom smells like.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh.
What does it smell like?
Oh.
You're getting addicted.
Smell it. I don't know what that smells like.
It's supposed to smell like steak, but I think it smells like chocolate.
It smells like chocolate and peanut butter. Like nasty ass Nutter Butters and shit.
One of the more well-known and coveted items on this list are the MF Doom Nike SB Dunks. These sneakers dropped between the release of The Mouse and the Mask and Born Like This in July of 2007. This release marked Nike SB's second collaboration with a hip-hop artist, the first being the SBs released in collaboration with De La Soul, which is an interesting coincidence considering that the group harkened all the way back to Doom's KMD era. Things would come full circle for both artists 15 years after De La Soul's debut album, when the trio featured MF Doom on their 7th studio album. To me, Doom being the second hip-hop related SB collaboration after De La Soul is the cherry on top. It goes to show that everything Doom went through and worked for over the past 20 years was worth it. And these sneakers, this collaboration, is an acknowledgement of that struggle and triumph. Coming back to the shoe itself, it features Doom-themed illustrations on the insoles as well as the translucent undersole. These shoes have undoubtedly made their mark, having been worn and mentioned by the likes of Kylie Jenner and Westside Gunn. Before Doom's passing, these shoes were selling for around $300 a pair, twice that of its original retail price. However, after Doom's passing, these shoes have skyrocketed to absurd prices, upwards of $2,000.
One of my personal favorite Doom collectibles has to be this Dangerdoom cereal bowl. I saw a photo of this bowl years ago when I was first getting into MF Doom, but throughout my research there was such a lack of presence of this bowl online that I started to doubt it was even real. It felt like a Mandela effect almost. Either that or maybe it was some sort of fan-made Etsy product. Luckily though, with the help of some chill Reddit users, I was able to prove that I wasn't losing my mind.
Right here is a Dangerdoom cereal bowl. Do you have one of these?
No, I don't.
What is this? Dangerdoom. Could you tell the people? Danger Mouse and
MF Doom
put out the first hip-hop cereal bowl.
With that being said, there are still very little traces of this bowl online, and I have no clue where the item originally comes from. So if you have any insight and sources, please comment them below. The Madvillainy demo tape was originally manufactured and distributed with copies of the Madvillainy 2 box set from 2008. Stone's Throw, however, had some leftover cassettes and decided to have a one-day sale for the remaining inventory 5 years later in September of 2013. As the title implies, this tape features early takes from Madvillainy which were recorded in 2002, 2 years before its official release. The reason for this large amount of time between recordings and the album's release date is due to the fact that this version of the album was leaked onto the internet, which Doom references on the album's closer, Rhinestone Cowboy.
It speaks well of the hyperbase, wasn't even tweaked and it leaked into cyberspace. Couldn't wait for the sniper.
The demo tape also provides an interesting look into the early stages of the project, like how Great Day was going to be called One False Move, Meat Grinder was just for kicks, and the supervillain theme was simply called Stakes. In total, the tape runs 36 minutes over 12 tracks and features a copy of Madlib's handwriting across the case.
Limited by both its age and quantity, the Monster Island Czar poster is one of the rarest pieces of Doom-related memorabilia. Of course, the Monster Island Czars are a group that Doom was a part of back in the early 2000s. On this album, Doom produced a handful of tracks under his alias of King Ghidra, and even has his own solo feature on the track Mic Lines, which is also a clever double entendre. The Czars only ever released one album, Escape from Monster Island, and this poster is meant to be a promo item for the album. Judging by their limited quantity, I'm assuming the poster was given to record stores to put up on their walls as a way to promote the album. In collaboration with New Era, MF Doom released his very own 5950 snapback and 950 fitted caps, with the snapback including a silver pin of Doom's mask and the fitted cap featuring a black pin. He wore the hat prominently on his Villainous adventure, as well as his South by Southwest video appearance in 2016. Courtesy of MF Doom's own Metal Face label, we received the classic album Operation Doomsday on cassette tapes. One cassette colored green and the other red. Just like the remastered vinyl release, the first tape includes the original album, while the second tape contains the bonus material like B-sides and instrumentals. And similar to the vinyl release, these tapes are housed in the same sleek silver design, with Doom's iconic mask engraved on the box. For those of you looking for something a little more stylish, you can try getting your own pair of MF Doom Clark Wallabies. Designed by Doom himself, these shoes originally retailed for $160 back in 2014, but have since increased in price. You'll be hard pressed to find a pair selling for under $200. Doom's goal with these shoes was to add his own touch, without taking away from what made the shoes so great to him in the first place.
Check out the new season, Doom Joints, Autumn Winter 2014, Clark's Originals.
As a way to promote the shoe's release, Charlie Robbins and Joe Alexander shot a video with Doom, taking a ride to Somerset Village where the Clark Wallabies were originally created. In tandem with the 2011 re-release of Operation Doomsday, Metal Face Records put out the MF Doom Operation Doomsday Lunchbox. The set came with a CD version of the remastered album, a 32-page lyric book, and a set of trading cards. Keep in mind that they're not actual trading cards as much as they are a one-time set of collectibles. The cards are actually pretty cool, and they feature art from prominent figures in Doom lore, including MF Grimm, Subrock, Curious, Producer X-Ray, DJ Cucumber Slice, aka Bobito, Kong, Tommy Gun, Rodan, as well as MF Doom himself and King Ghidra. I think this whole concept of a lunchbox would have made more sense if it was for food, but nonetheless, this is a really cool Doom collectible. If food wasn't enough to satisfy you, you might enjoy some leftovers. Leftovers was a promotional CD that was given away with copies of food when purchased through the website hiphopsite.com. Kind of a redundant name looking back on it now. This promotional product included bonus tracks and remixes from its older brother, and most notably a recipe by MF Doom's grandma on how to make Villainous mac and cheese, which is what I presume Doom is holding on the cover of this project. If Doom's music wasn't challenging enough for you, you might find a more amusing challenge with the Rhymes Like Dimes puzzle box. Much like other Operation Doomsday related merchandise, the Dime Box was released in 2011 by Metal Face Records. Its contents feature a 150-piece jigsaw puzzle, as well as a 7-inch pressing featuring the track Rhymes Like Dimes, as well as the instrumental. While the average Doom vinyl doesn't exceed more than $40, there are certain exceptions, the most prominent being Victor Vaughn's Venomous Villain. Venomous Villain was released in August of 2004 with the record label Insomniac Inc., a company which, as far as I can tell, has ceased to exist.
Because now I just see some kind of like domain placeholder web page when I look up the website.
As a result of this label no longer existing, the rights for this album are sort of up in the air, with the only existing pressing of this vinyl being the original 2004 versions. Due to its scarcity, it's caused the price of these vinyls to pivot to a median price of $260, a pretty penny to pay for what many would consider one of Doom's weaker projects. If vinyl isn't really your thing, then you might be interested in spending that cash on a piece of jewelry. MF Doom and Hancholo's collaboration brought us the first official Doom ring. Released in January of 2014, the ring was originally made of stainless steel and retailed for around $120. Nowadays, you'll commonly see this gem fetch prices upward of $300, a small price to pay for what many would consider the official MF Doom ring. While most people have heard of the MF Doom and Hancholo ring collab, not many know about the MF Doom Frank151 ring or pendant. Not much information is available on these pieces, but from what I uncovered, they were distributed through Zoomies, which seems to be the prime distributor of Frank151 merch. The ring itself is pretty good, but it definitely doesn't top the Hancholo ring. As for the pendant, in my opinion, it's complete trash. It just looks really flat and dull, and I don't think it captures MF Doom's mask properly. If you want a better pendant, you can check mine out on my Big Cartel shop, link in the description. If you can't get enough of Frank151, then you might be interested in a set of books he wrote revolving around our favorite masked MC. The first one is Chapter 48, Doom. The book contains over 150 pages curated by Doom himself and contains exclusive photos and stories from Doomlay's life. The second book is Chapter 60, Frank Doom. This iteration includes all the original content from Chapter 48 with some additional photos and insight from Doom himself. In 2017, Doom put out a collection of clothing in collaboration with Los Angeles streetwear brand The Hundreds. These designs consisted of Doom's logo, a silhouette of his mask, and what I believe is meant to be Doom as a peanut character. These designs were printed onto t-shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies.
In commemoration of KMD's debut album, we received the Mr.Hood Challenger coin, which celebrated the album's 30th anniversary. In the coin collecting world, a challenge coin is a specially designed coin meant to celebrate and honor a special occasion, person, or group. And this piece does just that by paying tribute to KMD and their debut album. This coin was distributed through MC Search's website Melted Microphone and retailed for around $30. With that being said, only 100 of these coins were ever created, making this one of the more rare pieces of Doom related merchandise. One of the most convoluted pieces of Doom merchandise I've come across throughout my research for this video has to be the Doom AKOMPLICE collab. Back in 2012, Doom and the brand AKOMPLICE bumped heads to create an MF Doom themed mystery box. On a side note, I think Doom might be the first and currently the only rapper to have a mystery box type item like this. The reason I say it's convoluted is because of the sheer amount of items which came with this box. Add in the fact that each box is a variation of items, with some items being rarer than others, and it's easy to see how this can be a little confusing. I was also conflicted on whether or not to give each item its own entry, but I decided not to since the items featured for this collaboration are entirely exclusive to this set and were never sold separately. First off, some background on this collaboration. This crate was only available on AKOMPLICE's web store for 24 hours on June 8th of 2012, with a total of 600 boxes up for sale. The contents of the box were kept secret, keeping on theme with Doom's mysterious nature. A lot of fans were essentially going in blind, not knowing exactly what they were buying or if it'd even be worth the money. Starting with the box itself, it features both Doom and AKOMPLICE's logos laser inscribed and only able to be opened with a crowbar, which came along with the crate. Once inside, every package included a treasure map, which supposedly led fans to real-life buried treasure. Another item included with every box was a t-shirt featuring the Doom mask silhouette. This design came in a variation of colorways and sizes ranging from small to 3X, adding a whole other level of randomization. And in case that wasn't enough, out of the 600 boxes, 400 included a pocket watch, 130 had a brass telescope, and the remaining 70 brought with it a compass. But by far the rarest and most coveted item featured in this crate was a red cassette tape featuring the Doomstar's track Victory Laps. The crate retailed for $49, which is around $65 in today's money. This was undoubtedly one of the most interesting and fun pieces of Doom merchandise to research. Props to Doom and AKOMPLICE for this idea. The box came out only a month after Loot Crate launched, adding on to the list of the many things Doom was ahead of the curve on. After the success of the Doom mystery box, AKOMPLICE followed up the project 3 years later, this time with a mystery bag. Unlike the mystery box, this drop was a lot less randomized and a lot more uniform. Every mystery bag contained a white or black t-shirt with the mask silhouette, as well as a white cassette with an unreleased MF Doom beat. Where things begin to differ is with the particular set of items, with every bag containing one of two sets. The first was a Doom ink pen and a large sketchbook. The second was a camera pen and a small notebook. Each set of items was tied to a particular challenge. Those who received the sketchbook were tasked with creating a Doom-inspired drawing for a chance to win an original Fantastic Four comic book issue number 5, which featured the first appearance of Dr. Doom. For those who received a spy pen and a small notebook, you were challenged to create the most inspiring and creative film possible in order to win a 2-day trip to Mexico with the co-founder of AKOMPLICE. The rarest possible item you could obtain from this mystery bag was the yellow cassette tape, limited to only 250 pieces. There are conflicting reports as to who actually produced the beat, with some claiming it's Metal Fingers while others claiming it's Madlib. Four years after the release of Madvillainy, Stone's Throw saw fit to put out Madvillainy 2, the remix album. Originally made by Madlib for his own private enjoyment, Stone's Throw decided to release the remix album as part of a box set. The set featured a variety of Madvillain related items, including a CD, a vinyl, a cassette, a t-shirt, and a comic book. First and foremost, the album itself on CD, a t-shirt referencing the track America's Most Blunted, the Madvillainy demo tape which featured early recordings, a 15-page comic book that picks up where the All Caps music video left off, and a 7-inch vinyl with the drunk version of One Beer pressed onto it. As the story goes, someone at Stone's Throw found the song on a beat-up CD in a trash pile left at Madlib's studio shortly after he moved. Special thank you to my supporters on Patreon and my members here on YouTube. Tad Onchi, Caboose Cybot, Bobby Novoa, Jesse Pigal, Jay Murray, The Wingman, Don Did, Dylan Sanders, Corazon, Conda, Aaron Jones, Fanboy, and a warm welcome to our latest supporters, Beef Supreme, Gary Watts, and Khan. Thank you all for your continuous support.